question. When you talk about creating spaces for people to come and I'm just curious if someone who's been pushed to the extent that you're seeking help outside of people you might have trusted, then there might be a possibility that someone that you've trusted has let you down or betrayed you. I'm finding it difficult to conceptualize that someone who's gone through that kind of a betrayal would want to seek help outside again. How would you convince someone like that, who's gone through something like that, to trust a complete stranger, irrespective of judgment, whatever? What would it?
So I'll tell an experience of my own, and probably I'll go from there where it goes. So after some point of time when I started wearing sari and whatever, going around, going out and all that, I'm still working with the community, pretty much there everywhere and doing whatever I've been doing or wanting to do. And this wasn't during the October time, I think, Dashara time, where I've suggested something. We want to make little encash the Telangana culture, whatever, in transgender community, and we little get whatever connected with that and say that Telangana government, we are part of your culture, transgender people, make something for us kind of thing. Then there was an idea which came up where I suggested, so there's a Batkamba happening anyway, government is doing in LV Stadium, a huge one and all that. Why don't a few trans people let us plan and go make be part of the Batkamba festival. Then suddenly they said, fine, let's come meet and talk and all that. They called for a meeting. I said, okay, fine, let's meet. I went for the meeting, I sat down. And all of them are friends, known people whom I work with every day in and out with most difficult situations, not any plain simple situations. Also share so much that's happening at home, that they share with me that what is happening at home, in their lives, in my life and all that. Went for the meeting, sat down and we spoke for a couple of minutes about whatever the agenda was, I think, not more than 2 minutes. And then the focus was shifted on why I wear a sari. They did not even ask me why, what and where it comes from, or did not give me any chance. Simply, the statement was, either you stop wearing it or you'll get beaten up or you'll get thrashed. I was about to find, and then I thought about this because this has been coming around from some time. I thought I understand where they come from and why it whatever makes insecurity or discomfort among them, and I understand. I was trying to explain. Then one person just came away and told you are ready, I'm a BC, you better not stop over here. This was the thing was told me. I'm like, okay, I won't stop, but can I still, I'm not defending anything, but I want to explain. And I understand where you come from, but I also want to explain and talk, let's talk. They were like, there's no talking to do about it. Either you do as we ask, or either you stop coming and be part of the community and all that. Which they already stopped talking to me, some of them, and stopped excluding me from meetings and things and all that. That was have been happening. I'm still like, fine, okay, if they're not comfortable, I'm fine, I'll do in whatever the space I do. But in whatever the space I'm doing, they are at effort to make sure that it also doesn't happen. So it was quite a nasty night otherwise, very difficult. And also because I just moved out of the house then. That was the month I moved out of the house because it was getting too much at home, and I realized some distance is needed between my parents and me. I moved out of the house a little closer to office. So I was living all by myself, and certainly there is there's no sense of going home and all that, and whatever the sense is left is with community and community work, whatever I'm doing with, and I was lost. I have no clue what exactly I can or I should, how should I even react. Response is a faraway thing. I didn't even know how to react. There was no immediate knee-jerk reaction also. I was lost. I was lost that day. I've gone after a long time, I think. After my brother died, I think I cried on that day. For long and long. And then I woke up. I did not sleep. I slept for some time, woke up, and then didn't feel like going to office, doing anything. I immediately I felt like fine, okay, these are trusted friends. They whatever said things, wherever they come from. I was probably a little angry also that this is happening with me, because we all are friends. We all, meant to be with each other, stand with each other, be there. But that's not the case. Then I looked around. What do I do? Who do I talk to? Because I don't know who else I talk to. I can't go back to home certainly and talk this. If I talk this, they would certainly say that, you asked for it. I can't talk to any of my cousins because they're also close, but none of them talk to me about my sexuality or gender or anything like that. They're very, very distant in that sense. And certainly not at office also, more or less. So where do I reach out and talk? To gather up that strength and say that I'll talk to someone, not merely because they'll help me out with this, or not because I'll trust them, but just because I want to talk. Will they, and I know I understand also the part is that to finding a person most of the times when we want to talk to each other, it is that, okay, when a friend comes to talk to us, we're like, let's talk, we'll sit and talk. When the entire talk happens, we would say something. Good, bad, whatever, we would say something because we want to say something. Because we believe that's how a conversation is supposed to be. But rather, without saying anything, can there be just the listening? That doesn't happen most of the times. Whenever someone comes with a problem and talks to him, oh, now I'll give my peace of mind. But does the other person actually need the peace of mind right now? Your peace of mind by any means? Or does the other person just want to talk to you? And finding someone like that who will not feel the urge and compulsion of obligation of wanting to give their peace of mind, go and talk to them is difficult. And sadly that is a kind of the space we live in, where we don't find mostly people like that, who are just with you, just being there in the conversation with you, rather than wanting to share what they feel, what they want you to do, how they want you to resolve it, or how they want you to feel it or take it. Because most of us do that. Finding that would be difficult, I believe. But also with known people, when they betray your trust, we feel that they betrayed our trust because we think we know them, or we believed we know them.
That is the betrayal.
But yeah, that is the betrayal. But also I think the part is that the idea of that we know someone, I don't know how in a very true sense is complete it is. Because we do not know anyone completely. We do not know anyone completely. Because I do not know my parents completely. I lived with them 26 years, with whatever little 1-2 years on and off, and I do not know them because I do not know their life before by any means, and I would never know their experience, where they come from and all that. But also again, in spite of understanding that fact that I don't know their life and all that, I lived through the moments of anger and disappointment and betrayal from my parents also. I won't deny that. To overcome that and still able to look at a person, fine, I'll not look at those people with that mere betrayal as a thing, because I don't know the person just for the betrayal part. I also know the people before the betrayal part. I will also know those people if I choose to or not choose to after the betrayal part, one or the other way. So we need to look at a person little outside the betrayal part is what I feel, but that doesn't happen one day, or that doesn't happen overnight. And to trust others because whom you think you know is something you realize that you do not know. Then the fear is that, can I invest in knowing someone else? Should I invest in knowing someone else? Would I ever know someone else because I never actually knew them, is what we feel. But in a real sense, we would never know anyone else other than our own selves, is what I mean. What we think we know of others is mostly what they make us think of themselves. We all do that to each other.
So just to push a little bit further on what the question that she was asking, then one way to understand this is that we can never be sure that the other person is not going to betray us.
Never,
And
indeed.
and we can never be sure that we ourselves are not going to betray someone else. Right?
True.
So that's the starting point.
Yes.
Knowing that betrayal is imminent. Then the issue is, can we create spaces, times, contexts in which that betrayal is not going to be brutalizing us or the other person? And can we figure out ways of making such a place known as such a place? Right? So you walk into that space, you know that you're capable of betraying the other person in that space. The other person is capable of betraying you. But in this particular space, in this particular context, that betrayal is not going to be so dangerous and something positive might happen. Right? Most of us cannot think of places like that. We don't see them around us. But most of us also know someone, somewhere, some context, some specific moment when such an interaction has taken place. And if we hadn't, then we wouldn't actually be longing for it. We long for it because we know.
No, it's
that it
there.
is there.
It's there around somewhere.
So the issue then is that, can we create such contexts, even if it is a fleeting context in which such an interaction can take place? Because ultimately, of course, I'm capable of betraying you as much as you are capable of betraying me. The issue is that, can we create a moment where you and I are not going to betray each other? Even if we betray each other, it's not going to be so bad. So within that space, and if people know that such spaces are available, then people will take a chance. And I think that's what is the tricky thing. That most people cannot think of a place where they can take a chance. Ultimately, there is no guarantee that what you're going to find there is going to be the answer for you. It's not.
Not necessarily.
But can you at least take a chance there? And that is the scary part. That we can't think of a place where we can take a chance. And can we create such spaces is the question, right? And I think it can be done. It's very much possible to create such spaces. It requires confidence, it requires a lot of work upon oneself, it requires...
And that space only can be first created in your head. And only then you look for that space outside. But also to look at, would I as a person be available to someone in that way, as I expect someone else to be available to me? Whether it's our judgment or betrayal, whether we fear about judgment or betrayal, our fear of judgment also comes from, there's always constant judgment about others in our own selves, whether we express it or not. And there are times judgment about our own selves. Most of the times. So once we look at that and see, I think it's we look at the other's judgment differently. Like, my judgment is my limitation, others' judgment is others' limitation. Like, I'll be kind to me when I am on my limitation. That I'll understand my limitation, embrace it, work on it. Similarly, when someone else betrays me, I'll also understand and try, attempt. But also, life offers different experience where one tends to feel that people are by nature evil, but I tend to disagree with people by nature are not evil. People tend to do many things, as we also do many things to ourselves and many others.
Buddhism ka rahe itna smart phone hai?
Well, the whole point of Buddhism is also interesting, no? We constantly say Buddhism is a religion where Buddha denies how one should give up desires. But the very idea of attaining enlightenment is a desire.
Desire, totally.
So the point is...
Nastiest and biggest desire.
The point is, how do you make desires that come out of wisdom rather than the desires that come out of anger, lust, greed and so-called afflicted emotions?
It's a bit like sophistry.
It is. It is. And also, I'll tell you what. The day when this incident happened, this entire meeting where they little targeted me or whatever, as if I felt, but they thought they are doing what they need to do, of course. Like, after a year now, when I got back, these people who did it, few of them, they've come to me spoke to me and actually confessed what all they plotted and what all they thought and how they were rude or mean and all that. And I'm not saying this because to make you think that okay, whatever has happened is okay, but I'm also telling you this because whoever has done something like that to you, fine, they might come back or not come back, but there are always good people around. They might turn around and they might be apologetic. They might not be also. If they are, great. But if they are not, but if we let someone's betrayal darken our mind and heart, then we are carrying that burden with us. And that burden doesn't do anything to the other person who betrays us. Whatever it does to us. Same goes with anger, hatred, jealousy. Those burdens does nothing to whom we hold them against. All that they do is to us. And the entire freedom or enlightenment in Buddhism we talk about is that, see how free we can be of anger, grief, pain, greed, these things. And that's the reason why freedom is called state of mind, no? At a very larger context. That once we have that freedom, I believe things are very, very different. I was very hurt for a long time. Very, very hurt. In the entire year process also, I was hurt in a way that can I ever forgive them for what they did? But the first thing was that I needed to forgive myself and then forgive them. And once you forgive yourself, and also the forgiveness that you ought to give someone else is not the forgiveness you give someone else. Forgiveness is something that you give to yourself. When you forgive someone, it frees you of the burden, not them. You let go a lot. They'll be in their state. You can do nothing about it. They might understand what they did to us. They might never understand. They might live with it. Might not. But do I choose to live with what they did to me? Or do I choose to let it go what they did to me? If I choose to let it go, I need to work on letting it go. And that letting it go is not forgetting again. Forgetting doesn't make anything disappear. Forgetting only keeps in your house, if you have a storeroom, dump everything, keep dumping everything, forgetting in the storeroom. After a point, it will barge into your living room. It only has so much of storage, not beyond a point. One day at a time, but one day at a time, because you can only do so much in a day, 24 hours. So counting and maths is good sometimes, though I hate numbers.
Chalo, so
Yeah.
if we call you again, you will come again.
Of course, love to. There's so much of love here, certainly I would
you
love
can
to.
take whatever, yeah. There's a lot of rage also, a lot of angry words also. अब थोड़ा we'll reflect and think, अच्छा, चलो, I'll forgive him. Can they?
That's a fun, no? To have that inner journey of rage, love, everything together.
Sir, why they all don't
Shave.
their hair?
Okay, one practical thing I would say is that one, you do not indulge in body and investing in beautifying your body, and shaving your face symbolizes that you also renounce. And also, I think one more thing I like about it is it makes nuns and monks look alike. It doesn't matter differentiate who is a nun, who is a monk. We all have shaved heads, we all have same robes, and we all wear the same skirt.
But you people wear such lovely colors.
Yes.
So that, compensates for all other forms of asceticism that you may be.
Totally.
exercising.
Don't deny
The
it.
colors are just so awesomely.
Won't deny it. So you basically don't invest in your body, and your body is merely, you take care of your body. Again, in entire Buddhism, you won't starve yourself. Starving yourself is never suggested. You eat, you healthy. Like go to any Dalai Lama's talk or any Lama's talk, keep sitting listening to their talk. Buns, bread, tea is served to you. Keep eating as much as you need to eat, because you shouldn't concentrate on your gut. Your mind should be functioning. But at the same time, you're not just concentrating on food. You're merely taking care of it. So it is little balance. You take care of your body, but you're not lost within your body.
Chalo. Thank you very
Nice
much.
meeting you all.
Thank you.
Hope to see you all again soon.